Hey, welcome. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight on this live stream. Hey, if you're catching me on YouTube, if you're catching me on Facebook, if you're catching me on LinkedIn, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you could just drop a comment, let me know you're here. Tonight, we're talking about open-ended questions and open-ended questions versus closed-ended questions. And my name's Greg. I'm a sales trainer, sales coach. I've been a sales professional for 20 years, and over half a decade, I've spent taking that time in sales management, training sales associates, training, coaching, and associates of all skill levels of how they can go from even brand new, not selling anything to anyone go from that skill level up to where they can learn to sell more, sell consistently, and earn more on each sale. Even intermediate and top performing salespeople. I've coached hundreds over the past half of a decade. Now I own a company called the Hard Knock State. We are a business consulting, sales training, sales coaching company based in the Pacific Northwest here in Washington State. And we have on sale, just to let you know right now, we have on sale our 12-month training program called the Complete Sales Mastery. And with that, you'll save $1,000 by January 31st. It is $19.97. What you get is 12 months access to Cardone University, over 800 online business and training courses, and 4 months, 16 separate weekly group training sessions where we'll be going over 10x sales professional courses that talk about things such as this complete sales process, how to maximize every sales opportunity, how to win more deals with less effort, closing and negotiations masterclass. And with that you're going to get into this 90 days into it. You're going to go into your start going into your 4th month of training with us. And you're going to be a completely different sales associate. You're going to be selling at numbers greater than ever before. And in addition to that comes the extra money. It's going to be a lifestyle change for you and your family if you take this information and correctly apply everything that we teach to you. But I wanted to talk to you today about open-ended questions and why they're important. When we're taking our customers through the steps of the sale, when we're following the perfect sales process, and we're in the second step, the fact-finding mode, the discovery, right? We're trying to figure out why the customer is in front of us and what problems they're looking for us to solve. In fact, we don't want to forget the power of asking open-ended questions. This is a post I made earlier today in LinkedIn. Asking closed-ended questions paints the buyer into a corner and forces them to make a yes or no response. When this happens, sales associates create what we call tunnel vision, and they focus only on selling the one only product that the customer came in to see. The buyer will also stick to their guns and only want to see that one product that they did all the hours of research on before they even came into your store. Open-ended questions, when we use open-ended questions, it literally opens the door for other considerations. For instance, if we're asking, are you downsizing? This would be a close-ended question. We're forcing the customer to say yes or to say no. And if they say no, then we're only going to be able to show them packages, products, services greater than what they have now. And what's greater than what they have now, it could be the right thing for them. However, people are creatures of habit. And every time we go out and do something, we always do it over and over again. And so, in many cases, the least that they will take is the size of the product that they currently have. Hey, who knows? Maybe something paying for all the larger items in the eyes of a consumer, they don't see the value in it. And so maybe sticking with exactly the same size as what they have now to get a couple additional newer features that came into that product throughout the years as technology advances, maybe they would be happy with that. However, if they say no, it's going to be really hard for them uh, to change their opinion. But by asking open-ended questions, hey, are you looking for something larger or smaller than what you currently have now? Instead of getting a one-worded response, essentially what we're doing is we're bringing the customer in to have a very normal conversation. And this normal conversation will allow us to open the possibility for other considerations. Maybe maybe they're shopping for a sofa. Maybe you're selling furniture. You're in your showroom. You have a customer. They've walked in. They kind of are walking in, kind of not trying to make eye contact with the salesperson as they're moving through the bedroom sets and into the living room sets. And the husband sits down on one sofa. The wife sits down on another love seat, and you're kind of awkwardly there, watching them. And you walk up and you ask them, "Hey, folks, welcome in. Is there any information I can provide you with today?" If they say, "Yeah, we're looking for new sofas," and you automatically say to them, "Well, are you looking for leather?" And they say no. Well, now that conversation, it's really the customer has not had a chance to elaborate and open up. And so the salesperson will then only focus on everything that is not leather. They'll focus on the product that is not leather. And not that that's a bad thing, but hey, how much better would it be for your consumer is if you said, "Hey folks, are you looking for," give them options. "Hey, are you looking for leather, fabric, or ultra suede?" Let them decide. Let them, "Oh no, you know what? Actually, we were researching this brand new product on the market. We know that your store is one of the dealers for this manufacturer of the sofa that we came in to take a look at." And you see how the conversation just then starts flowing. And then, so not only are we asking questions, but we're getting answers to those questions versus us just getting a yes or a no response and then having to ask the customer again, "Well, why did you say that? And why is that? And why is that?" We want our conversations through the fact finding to just be a normal conversation, just like we're taking a stroll with our best friend through the park, and we're just chit-chatting it up. And so in the fact finding phase, remember, it's important to actively listen. I pulled this up here and I wanted to share this with you. This is what Google says is an open-ended question. And so an open-ended questions are questions that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no. Instead, require the respondent to elaborate on their points. And this is so important. If we just actively listen to our customers and we get them to open up and speak to us, we're going to get much further ahead in a much faster pace of time than if we don't. Because quite honestly, if you're actively listening, the consumer will tell you the problems they need to be solved, and they'll also tell you how they like to buy products and services. So if we just listen and then just ask open-ended questions, our sales process will be much more enjoyable, not just for you, but will be much more enjoyable for the customer. And the customer will think of you as providing a higher level of service than what they're going to find from the guy down the street. And so if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, this material is Grant Cardone's material, and we're going to show you by how asking open-ended questions will allow you to maximize every sales opportunity and look for opportunities in every corner. Asking open-ended questions, the first thing about selling is before you get going, and maybe you're in a rut, it's not only the questions we ask, it's also the tone in which we ask them. And again, whether we're electing just a yes or no response by close-ended questions, and stay away from that because we want to continuously ask open-ended questions. If you don't know who Grant Cardone is, he's an internationally renowned speaker on leadership, real estate investing, entrepreneurship, social media, and finance. Number one on Forbes' list of 25 marketing influencers to watch, author of several best-selling books and many different business publications, owner of 7 privately held companies with annual revenues exceeding well above the 100 million mark. In fact, I think well above the 200 million mark. And so we always want to have a great attitude, because a great attitude is worth more than a great product. People are moved by positive and confident people more than that. Than great products. A person who can make someone feel good can sell just about anything. A positive attitude is 1,000 times more important than any product that you're selling. Having the right attitude, customers form an opinion of us when they first greet us within the first 5 seconds. And that's a study done by Harvard Business School. And so when a customer engages with a sales associate, say you're selling automobiles and you're standing out in front of the store and you're waiting by the parking lot there, you notice that a gentleman gets out of his car. He parks, he gets out of his car, and he's walking right towards you. While he's walking right towards you, subconsciously, he is forming an opinion of you, and he's forming an opinion if he's going to buy from you. He may not realize he's doing this, but he's doing it nevertheless. And so it is so important when we first meet that customer. Number one, our attitude is right. Number two, we put a big smile on our face, an ear to ear grin, and we stand up tall with our shoulders back and our chest out. We put our hand out, we firmly shake their hand, not too loose, not like a limp fish, and not overbearing like you're arm wrestling Hulk Hogan. Okay, a nice firm handshake, and welcome them in. Welcome. I appreciate you coming in today. What information can I provide? That is a greeting that they're not going to get anywhere else. Typically, what they're going to get is, hi, how can I help you today? What did you come in for today? Did you come in to see anything in particular? Can I point you in the right direction? Okay, these are all standard run-of-the-mill greetings, and they don't form a positive opinion in a customer that's going to separate you from your competition. So just by doing this simple greeting alone and having a great attitude, you can separate yourself from your competition. And tomorrow, when you go into work, try this out. I guarantee you, you'll probably sell more than what you sold today. Treat everybody like millionaires. This is so important. We don't want to prejudge anybody. And we know subconsciously, after what I just mentioned, that they're already forming an opinion of us. So make sure you treat everybody like millionaires. If you want to become a millionaire, you have to treat other people like millionaires. People you think are broke or won't buy from you, treat them like millionaires. They could surprise you. How you act towards others will be exactly how people act towards you. You ever notice when you're running late in the morning, you're trying to get to work, you're all frustrated, your coffee pot stopped working, you got toothpaste on your blouse or on your tie as you're brushing your teeth, trying to hurry off to get to your car, to get into traffic, and then you hit every single red light along the way as you're going into work. You get in and you're 10 minutes late. Your boss is on you for being late, and you have an appointment that's been waiting for you for the past 5 minutes. So how are we going to feel? Are we going to be relaxed, upbeat, and treat people like millionaires? I got to tell you, you need to have this drilled into you. Treat everybody like a millionaire, because if you're running late, and you're frustrated and you're all frazzled and you're all stressed out, and you go and you treat that customer like that, they're going to treat you exactly the same way. So if you, no matter what the situation, no matter what you're going through, no matter how the last customer interaction went, as soon as it's over, you got to wipe the slate clean and you got to start over fresh. Big smile, ear to ear grin, shoulders back, hand out firmly. Welcome. I appreciate you coming in. You could be going crazy inside of your mind. You still need to treat everybody like a millionaire. Your daily attitude. A product can be replaced, but a great attitude cannot. Even when you have a negative people around you, positivity will always win over. Only if you persist. If you let others be negative around you and you start dropping your positivity around others, obviously the negative side's going to win. But if you're telling people to knock off the negative talk, maybe you're working in a team environment and the guy next to you or the gal next to you is complaining about the last customer they just had, and or maybe they're complaining about everything that's going wrong in their life, tell them to knock it off. Hey, tell them there's no negativity allowed here. We need to think positive because we need to provide a higher level of service for our guests when they walk in the door. And I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to make more money because I'm got this positive mindset than anybody else today. In fact, I'm going to have the highest commissions of anybody in the store today. Fill your attitude with positivity because it's contagious. Attitudes are contagious either way, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the positive. The impact of environment. You're a product of your environment. And just like running into work, being frazzled, stressed out, and frustrated, and greeting that customer, that is, believe it or not, that's your environment. So make sure that we're always in a positive environment and that we surround ourselves with positivity. Your environment has a direct effect on your ability to sell. And if you don't believe me, try it. Stop all negativity around you and then watch your sales increase even higher. If you're a top producer now and you're letting a lot of negativity into you, if you're one of the highest producers in your store, in your showroom, or your sales organization, and you still think not negative, you still talk negative, you still hang around negative people, I guarantee it, drop all negativity around you and try it out. You'll sell even more than what you're currently selling. When you're positive, others will also follow your lead. When you're positive and you're having success and nothing is letting you down, it's going to rub off on other people. And protect yourself from those other people who are being negative. Make the commitment, no negativity ever. Tips to having a great attitude: avoid newspapers in the morning, avoid television, and avoid radio. Most of us have notifications turned on our cell phone. And there's more people that wake up in the world today, and the first thing they do is they look at their cell phone. And if they're subscribing to news publications, if they're subscribing to channels, YouTube, everything, and not that that's bad, definitely not saying that's bad, but let's make sure that we start off our day with something positive, not with the headlines of the news and all the disasters going on in the world. It was once told to me by one of my coaches that if the news is important to us, it's going to make it to us before we want it to. So stay away from can't-do people and create an alignment. When we're positive, we're going to create an alignment with other like people. And so when you're engaging with your customer, we want to create an alignment with them. And your being positive will do just that. And keep clean. Okay, keep everything clean. Keep your language clean. Keep your dress clean. Keep your hair clean. Keep your teeth clean, right? We want everything clean. We want our humor to be clean, okay? Not off color and not something that's going to poke fun at anybody else, okay? Treat all negative talk like garbage. And do the negativity diet for 24 hours. Grant's got this negativity diet. It's amazing. And we really realize how negative we are we could think we're the most positive people that we know, but when it really comes down to it, when you're doing this negativity diet, you'll realize how much negative or negativity is in you. No negative thoughts, talks, or actions for a full 24-hour period. And once you have it, you got to restart the clock and you got to start over again with a fresh new 24 hours. And so, if you're a parent, and I'm a parent, if you're a mother or a father, and try this, I guarantee you, it's going to be the most challenging thing to get past 9 o'clock in the morning, especially if you got to get your kids up and get them ready for school. So, no negative thoughts, talks, or actions for a full 24 hours. If you fail, restart the clock. When you commit to these changes and start paying attention, you're going to have a major, major wake up call. You're going to have a once awake, a person will become aware and can start making the changes. And that's so true. Once we're aware of what's going on, once we realize certain things that we didn't think were even there, we can then make the change of that. And so, with that, also, I want to talk to you a little bit more about my complete sales mastery package. Normally, it's $29.97. You'll save $1,000. This started off as my holiday hangover special. And so I wanted to extend this to run through the full month of January. January is the start of the year, and it's the start of most of our fiscal quarters. And so we're already almost 2 weeks into quarter one of 2023. How you doing? Are you on pace? Are you running a little ahead? Well, I hope you are. Hopefully you're not already fallen lower than what your year-end projections of 2023 are going to be. If you are, heck, if you're a sales professional and do you yourself have a game plan? Have you set out how many cars, how many living room sets, how much furniture, how many kitchen appliances, how many spas, jacuzzis that you're going to sell? How many RVs or trailers are you going to sell? Where I got started, I was climbing a completely different industry. I was in the grocery business, and I got to tell you, I opened up my own market. I ran that for about 5 years. Still was not enough to make the kind of lifestyle I wanted for my family. So I decided to go into the automotive industry. And so I went into the automotive industry and really met this great couple, worked there. They owned a used car dealership, and they just put out a great product. They took care of their cars when they came in. They made sure there was no problems, put a guarantee on their cars. And I worked for them and became their store manager about my 5th year with them. After that, I went over to a big manufacturer and started selling for them. It was about 10 years into my selling career, and I remember I wasn't having the best of time. I've been in sales for some time, 10 years already, a decade, and I just remember being in this rut. I remember this one day in particular. I was walking into a sales meeting while looking at my paycheck, and I sat down in my chair, facing the whiteboard, and I opened up my paycheck, and my face turned bright red. I slumped in my chair trying to hide. I was thinking about my 2 kids and how I was going to keep the lights on. And then I heard it. Hey, Greg, I was being called on by the sales manager to tell the entire sales team how many units I had out for the month, or more like didn't have. I was so embarrassed. I was demotivated. And the rest of my weekend, the performance for the rest of my weekend was completely shot. And the worst thing of all, when I got home that night, my wife met me at the door and told me our power had been turned off. So if you were like I was back then, if you're just kind of living paycheck to paycheck, and 76% of US Americans are, if you're trying to find out, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, if you're trying to find a way to get to the next level and run at the top producer level, I bet if you only sold 3 more units a month, it would change your lifestyle, no matter what you're selling. If you were able to find a way to take that 3 and multiply it into 6, I guarantee you, you'll never look back. and you'll on living paycheck to paycheck again, you'll be in a completely different area than when you are right now. And if you're in a job where you're exchanging hard-earned labor for, you know, a meager hourly wage, or maybe your hourly wage that you're getting is halfway decent and it's livable, it's comfortable. It's still not enough to really plan ahead for retirement, and it's still not enough to really take the vacations you want to take. It's still really not enough to do the things with your kids that you want to do. I got to tell you, the sales industry is a phenomenal industry. I am so passionate about the sales industry. It is my mission to help 10 million people live a successful life through a rewarding career in sales. And so in 2015, this is I really started taking the deep dive into Grant Cardone. And in 2015, I signed up for Cardone University, and I held on to that for, gosh, about 2 years. Within that period of time, my sales started going up, and I was an average performer. As I said, 10 years ago, I was really in this rut. And so after getting on Cardone University and doing my daily training and implementing the information that I learned, again, my sales started going up. And so with that, by the end of 2015, I had finished fourth in my store out of like 45, 50 sales associates. And 6 months later, into 2016, I was promoted into sales management, where I was training and I was teaching and coaching sales associates on how to do exactly what I did and how to always stay consistent and find a way to earn more on each sale, and how to up their units that they did sell per month. If they were selling 8 units a month, 10 units a month, I wanted to find a way to get them to sell 12 to 14 and 16 and so on. So my complete sales mastery, it is a 12-month training program. Really what it is, it's 12 months training of Cardone University, and 4 months, 16 individual weekly group training sessions where we're all going to hop together on a Zoom call, a private, small class Zoom call with about 10, maybe 15 of us. And we're not only going to go through your daily training of about 10 to 15 minutes per day, watching two to four courses of Cardone University, but during these weekly courses, we're also going to follow a curriculum. And that's Grant Cardone's 10X Sales Professional courses. And so we're going to start with the first course on week 1, which is going to be the top principles, the principles of a top sales producer. Second week, we'll roll into how to maximize every sales opportunity. Third will be how to win deals with less effort. Fourth will be closing and negotiations. Now, this is for week 4 and week 5. This is a 2-week masterclass. And the title of the class is How to Get Your Customers to Say Yes. Week 1 will be part 1, and week 2, of course, will be part 2. Week 6 will be phone sales mastery. And we're going to show you how to maximize the most valuable tool in your business. The phone today is still the salesman's most powerful tool in their tool belt. It's still the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. And we're going to get you to understand and get you to understand how to not only understand information about the phone, what to say on the phone, but we're going to get you to understand how to overcome objections and close on the phone. You're also going to learn on week 7 10x follow-up, some simple strategies for you to 10x your sales. The 10x business professional, how we can guarantee that you can earn 10x the money, and 10x money principles, $1 million strategies on how to build indestructible wealth. So if we go to thehardknockstate.com and we scroll all the way down to the bottom of the product page, and then we click on the lower right-hand corner of our complete sales mastery, add it to the cart, and we take all major credit cards. Okay, add it to the cart. We take all major credit cards, and we will call you within 24 hours to set up, get some information to set up your Cardone University. So you can start training on that. right away. And then also to give you the link to the weekly Zoom meetings. And so Complete Sales Mastery, again, that's on sale for $19.97 and through January 31st. So, hey, if you are thinking about this and you really want to make a change in not only maybe your career, maybe you're in sales and you want to make a change in your lifestyle. If you're trying to find a way to budget 1997 after the holidays and New Year's Eve and everything that we just went through, you could really figure this in to be less than $5.50 per day. It actually works out to $5.47 per day for you to get access to the #1 online business and training platform in the world. And then also get the 10x sales professional courses delivered to you weekly, once a week for the next 4 months via Zoom. And in these weekly group training sessions, the course is about 45 minutes long. We set aside 15 minutes at the end of each course, even if we've gone past the 45 minutes and we're running into an hour of the material. Hey, we're not going to just cut you off. Okay, we're going to devote another 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes after each session for questions and answers. Maybe you're going through a certain situation at work and you're taking through the customer through the steps of the sale. You're working the perfect sales process, and maybe you keep getting hit with the same objections over and over and over again, and you're finding a difficult time to get them from, say, the demonstration into the write-up to show a written proposal to the customer. Well, we can talk about it. We can work that out on the weekly Zoom training sessions. Maybe you got questions on overcoming objections. Maybe you got questions on any of the material that you're going to be learning over the next 4 months. Bring it up. Let's iron it out. Let's work it out. Let's get you back on track so the next day you'll know this information so well you can go and teach it to somebody else. But really the most important thing about that is you can implement it from the time that our training session ends. And so weekly group training, 4 months and 12 months of Cardone University. It's a complete 12-month training package for $19.99. You're going to save $1,000 because February 1st it will go back up in price. Grant always says, we're talking really today about open-ended questions. And I really wanted to talk to you, about this because we can get so much further along in our sales process during our fact finding if we're asking open-ended questions. If we're asking no or close-ended questions and we're only eliciting a no or a yes from the consumer, that doesn't lead to a very fruitful conversation that we need to have with our customer. Remember, fact finding doesn't just end because we're showing them a product. Fact finding is going to keep on going. That second step, greeting is the first step. Second step is fact finding. That's going to continue on and through the entire sales process. So Google tells us that an open-ended question is a question that cannot be answered with a simple yes or a no. It is a question that will require the person answering the question to elaborate on their points. So a close-ended question, hey, do you want a black colored car today? That would be a no. No, I don't. Okay, well, gosh, okay, we got so many black colored cars, right? No, we want to ask, hey, are you looking for a light color or a dark color? Well, actually, I'm kind of looking for a maroon or a red or something around that kind of shade. Oh, great. And that opens up a conversation. Oh, great. Hey, follow me. Let me show you what we have. We have some really bright colors and light colored vehicles. I know that we're going to have one that's going to fit your needs perfectly. Hey, follow me. By the way, are you looking for something smaller or larger than what you're currently driving right now? You see, and it's just a normal conversation that allows us to actively listen to our customer, find the right product that's going to solve their needs, demonstrate it into a way that is going to be beneficial to the customer and where they can see the value in what's being provided. And then that will allow us to easily transition to the write-up or the proposal to where we can close on our offer. And so we always want to ask these we always want to ask these open-ended questions to keep the information going in a positive way. And so presenting the sale, the first rule of selling, okay, is always agree with those. Hey, I understand why you see it that way. Uh, you know, you can you can know the customer is wrong, and you'll still need to agree with them. And this is different than the customer always being right. In today's world, we know customers not always right, and that's not what the point is about this. Um, we know the customer could be wrong. We still want to agree with them and let them know we can understand their point of view, the way they're seeing it. Um, you still need to agree with them even if they're wrong, but just to smile and agree, hey, I understand how you can see it that way, and then move on with your process. Because if you stop and you disagree with the customer, you're stopping the sales process, you're wasting time, and then the customer essentially, customers, when they come into your store, your showroom, or your office, they've done 40 hours of research, the studies have told us, on the one product that they're coming in to see. They've not only done 40 hours of research on the product or the service that they're coming in to see, they've also done research on the company that they're going to decide to go in, whether it's online looking at reviews or anything else, maybe getting some information from the people they trust, their trusted advisors, their neighbors, their friends, their coworkers, their family members. And so with that, they've made the decision to come in and look at that product, and they made the decision that you're the store they're going to visit. And so it should be as simple as customers telling us what they're there for, handing us a bag of money or handing over their money, us agreeing, taking their money and delivering them their product. But it's things like this where we find a way to disagree with the customer because we need to be right. Okay, this is what kills the sale. And so by asking these open-ended questions and agreeing with the customer that we could see their point of view, it will allow us to make the party feel right for their thoughts, their ideas, and their beliefs, and then we can close on the sale. Because we don't want to be right as sales professionals. We don't need to be right as sales professionals. What we need to do is we need to sell the product or service to the customer that's going to solve their problems. And so just like the agreement or the no negativity challenge, let's try an agreement challenge with that. Grant also has an agreement challenge. So practice handling other people with agreement first. Try to agree with everyone you talk to for a 24-hour period. Agree and then offer the buyer an opportunity to find his or her own solutions before you start trying to fix something that may not even be an issue. And so the agreement rule. Establish a basic agreement at the beginning. This creates an opportunity to help the buyer purchase your product or service. Tell the prospect about your product or service, about yourself, and later about your company. The agreement vocabulary. There are words that we can use to simply create an alignment and an agreement with our customer. Those phrases could be phrases such as, you're right, I agree, I'll work it out, I understand, I'll make it happen, and done. And so if we use phrases like that, getting into agreement with our customers is going to be easier than we can think, because trust is critical to the sale. And so when you create trust, you will increase your effectiveness. Distrust in a sales cycle is not the buyer's problem. It's your problem. A professional salesperson understands what's going on in the mind of the customer. In review, trust is critical. If you don't get the sale, you're not trusted. Every decision is a decision. Customers don't make sales, salespeople do. Understand the mind of the buyer. Take responsibility for both the buying and the selling, and manage the entire transaction. Get the job done, whatever it takes. WIT, whatever it takes, get the job done. And we kind of mentioned this, but the only thing the buyer should have to do when they walk into your company or when you assist them is to give you the money and then just deliver your product. Credibility equals increased sales. Get people confident in you and build trust, because someone can trust you, but they can't. They can also not find you credible. And so it may not just necessarily be trust. It may Maybe they just don't find you credible enough. Maybe they're just not confident in you. You know, when the buyer doesn't believe in you, you're probably not going to get the sale. So you need to know everything there is to know about your field, your industry, and the products you sell. If you are selling furniture and every product line that you offer in your store or showroom, man, you need to know about it, and you need to know everything about it. And not only do you need to know about that, but if you're in a highly metropolitan area and there's multiple different furniture storerooms, you should know their product line, and you should know everything about what they sell and the advantages of them doing business with you, with your company, and why they should buy your product. People believe what they see, not what they hear. And so have your presentations, your proposal, your prices and information and data in writing. Use data and evidence to support your claims. Use third-party data. Use the written word to build credibility. So if the buyer may trust you, but they don't find you credible, they don't have confidence in you, assist that with third-party data. And so have a evidence manual. Write down features and benefits and back them up with third-party validation. Show proof, statistics, and success stories. Keep an evidence manual of facts, of success stories, and of written testimonials from other customers who not only have done business with you, but have done business with your company, or hey, maybe even get some testimonials from the manufacturer themselves and what customers have told them directly about their products or the product that your potential customer is considering on buying. An informed buyer is always better than an informed buyer. An uninformed buyer simply cannot make a decision. And so we want informed buyers. So by using third-party data while the customer is there in front of us, again, in our showroom, in our store, or in our office, by using the third-party data, we're informing the buyer, and we're going to make it easier to be able to close that deal. So how do you build credibility and trust? Never sell with only words. Never negotiate with only words. Never ask for the close with only words. And never make verbal promises. The more data you can provide your consumer, your potential customer, your client, your prospect, the more data you could provide them, the better off you're going to be. And the happier and the more confident your buyer is going to be, and the easier it is for them to be able to make a decision. How to build credibility and trust continued. Well, number 6, keep your information current. Have your written information easily accessible. Use third-party data whenever possible. And the more real-time data you can provide, the better off you're going to be. Use computer-generated data whenever possible. And that is easier than ever in today's world. If you're a professional salesperson, and even if you're selling automobiles or you're selling furniture, you have a desk, you probably have a computer on that desk. And so we want to make sure we can provide this information easier than the customer can go home and get it themselves. So just, hey, if the customer's got questions, don't try to shoot from the hip. Don't try to dance your way around things that you don't know. Bring the customer over to the computer, show them the third-party data on that. It will validate it. It will make you look more like a professional, and it will allow the buyer to have trust and confidence in you, in your company, and in your product or service. The Complete Sales Mastery is 1997. I know I've hit on this a couple times already, but I can't hit on it enough. It's on sale for $1,000 off my regular price of $29.97. You're going to get 12 months access to Cardone University. You're going to get access to 800 plus online business and sales training courses. It's the #1 sales training university in the world. Cardone University to date has had over 1 billion courses taken, and it currently has 400,000 active users. Companies as large as Google, Audible, Microsoft, Salesforce, Ashley Furniture, companies as large as Honda, Ford, BMW, Chrysler. Heck, even the U.S. Army has used and trains their people on Cardone University. It's 24/7 access anywhere where you have an internet or data connection. You could use it on your smartphone. You could use it on your laptop, your desktop computer. You could use it on your tablet. Heck, if you could see the screen big enough on your smartphone and you can get internet access, you can get Cardone University. It's designed to be delivered in bite-sized chunks. You know, the one thing is for sure, studies have shown, if you get a gym membership and you go to the gym and you don't use it every day, let's say you go to the gym once a week, but you work out at the gym that once a week for 2 or 3 hours, and then you don't do it again for another week, are you going to see results? Maybe minuscule results, but nothing drastic. But if you go into the gymnasium, if you go into your gym and you work out 10 to 15 minutes consistently every day, every single 5 days, 6 days a week, you will see increased results quicker than if you went once a week and worked out for 2 or 3 hours. That's the same philosophy with Cardone University. We want to watch 2 to 4 segments a day. Each segment is going to be between 2 and 5 minutes long. With that, it will be just like you going to a gym. Before you know it, 90 days down the road, you're going to be a sales master. You're going to go in and start your 4th month of your weekly group training sessions, and you're going to already be setting your sights higher than what you've ever set them at before. You're going to be selling at levels that you'd never sold before. And when your selling has increased, your sales has increased, there's only one other thing that can increase with that, and that's your income. That's the amount of money you're taking home on each sale. And we want that to be the best it's ever been. We want you to hit new levels in selling. Your company wants you to hit new levels in selling, because if you're in a selling environment right now, you probably have no limit on your earning. If you're selling 100% commission right now, there's probably no cap on the amount that you can earn. Why should there be? If the company limits you on what you can earn and what you can sell, they're only limiting themselves. So the great thing with selling, as you know, the more you sell, the happier your company is, and the more they want to encourage you to sell. So you're not only going to get the by month 3 going through this. It's going to be game changing for you. 4 months, 16-week group coach training sessions where we're going to be going over 9 different 10x sales professional courses of Grant Cardone's, and courses just like how to maximize every sales opportunity, a 2-week closing and negotiation masterclass called How to Get Your Customer to Say Yes. You're going to learn how to operate the phones, sell on the phones, close on the phones. You're going to learn simple follow-up, 10x follow-up strategies, and much more. $19.97, you can budget it out at $5.47 per day. Go to thehardknockstate.com, scroll to the bottom of my product page, and on the lower right-hand corner, click on the Complete Sales Mastery. That is going to take you to that place where you can add it to the cart. And if you want to read the description, you can. 12-month access to Cardone University, 800 plus courses on the #1 business training platform in the world, with over 400,000 active users and 1 billion courses taken to date. Some of the largest companies we have already explained use Cardone University. Plus, you're going to get the 4 months, 16 weekly group training sessions with all of that. So hit add to cart, put in whichever credit card that you choose, and we'll contact you within 24 hours to set up your Cardone University so you can start training right away. So the magic of give, give, give. You know, this is so important. Not only do we want to ask these open-ended questions, but by asking open-ended questions, we're giving more of ourselves to our customer. We're asking open-ended questions. We're having a great conversation. We're allowing the customer to open up and elaborate on what problems they're having and what products that we have that are going to solve those problems. And this is the true essence of give, give, give. Selling is the act of giving. It's not just about getting people sold on your product, it's about servicing them to the sale. If you give enough, life will sooner or later give it back to you. Now, give all of you, not part of you, to your customer. Use those open-ended questions to show them that you'll love the one you're with. Show your customers how they're the most important person in your universe. Focus on what's in front of you. Don't get distracted by your phone or your email. Make a total commitment to the opportunity that's right in front of you, and find a way to improve your customer's life and pay them with your complete attention. The level of your service. Separate yourself from the competition with an extremely high level of service. People will pay more for a great service than they'll ever pay more for a great product. The example here on this slide is Apple's Genius Bar. Provide a level of service so outstanding that your clients won't comparison shop. I like to refer back to my old days working in the grocery store. And I'd always sit there and think to myself, with all these different grocery stores and grocery companies out there, why would somebody buy a can of green beans for $1 more per can at Whole Foods than they can get that can of green beans at Walmart? Why is it? It's because of the level of service that's being provided. Customers go to Whole Foods because they know the level of service is going to be that much greater than it is anywhere else. And so they'll go there and they will pay higher for the same things they could buy elsewhere, just right around the corner. They're just there. They're going to get it regardless. And so, but they're there at that store because the level of service is that much greater. So separate yourself from the competition with a higher level of service. Remember, they could probably go anywhere or many places to get exactly what it is that you sell. Why force them to go to the guy down the street? They'll fight you less on the price when you provide a higher level of service. How can you create a level of service that separates you from others and people will pay for? What's your equivalent to your can of green beans or the Apple Genius Bar? Here's just a few companies that perform an extremely high level of service: Apple, American Express, the Ritz-Carlton, Tiffany and Company, and the Four Seasons. In your neighborhood, in your city, in your town, try to think of a company out there that provides just that much higher level of service than everybody else. And think about how busy they are. Think about the parking lot in front of their store. Is it empty? Probably not. Chances are that you may have to drive by that location 2 or 3 times to find a parking spot. Make service senior to selling. This is one of the absolute cardinal rules with Grant Cardone is we need to make service senior to selling. So ask, how may I help you? How may I be of service to you? What information can I provide to you? Set yourself apart from everybody else and give yourself fully and provide levels of service that are unparalleled. Forget about the competition, exceed them, dominate your competition. And the easiest way to do that is by asking open-ended questions and providing a high level of service. The hard sell. Be willing to stay in the transaction and persist through the close. The hard sell is different than high pressure closing. It's different than arm twisting and beating our customer over the head. In fact, if we're making sure that service is senior to selling, and it's give. How can it be a high pressured sale? The hard sale is being willing to stay in a transaction and persist through the close. Hard selling status is when you're so convinced that so convinced in your product that it would be a disservice to your consumer if they left empty handed, if they left the showroom, if they left the store or your office without your product or service in their hand. You've done your customer a disservice, especially if you believe 100% that it was the right product that would solve your customers' needs. True professionals are determined to persist even when it's uncomfortable. Closing is like a recipe. If you change one ingredient, you change the recipe. Uh, and the whole thing changes. It's like baking a batch of chocolate chip cookies. If you're using grandma's old famous chocolate chip cookie recipe and you forget to add something into it, or you add too much of one ingredient, the whole recipe changes, and grandma's fresh baked, mouth watering chocolate chip cookies won't taste the same. The more you practice handling objections, the more natural you're going to sound. It's like uh, finding a way to continuously practicing open-ended questions. If you have to, video yourself to build confidence and then practice. There's no professional who's at the top of their game, the top of their field, that doesn't practice. They practice more than they're ever going to tell you. They practice at all times of the day. Think of the any professional in any organization. If it's a professional sports organization, anybody who's in the professional is in a professional level is at the top of their game. But think about within those professional sport organizations, there's even people who are at the top performers in that sport. And how much more training do they do than everybody else? They're practicing all times of the day. They never stop practicing. So something you got to consider too, and I was just thinking about this. It's always almost never price. It's almost never price. And when it comes to the complete sales mastery, it can't be about the price because it's on sale for $1,000 off. It's $19.97. You're going to get 12 months of Cardone University 24/7 access and 4 months of my weekly group training sessions where we're going to be discussing topics such as the principles of a top sales producer, where you're going to go through a 2-week closing and negotiation masterclass. You're going to learn how to maximize your profitability by using the phones through going through our phone sales mastery class. These are all proven successful sales courses that Grant Cardone has been using for over 40 years. And this is the information that when Grant himself used to go in and train companies and train sales teams on, this is the information that he would use to do that. And so it's proven successful. It works. And if you're looking for proof of it, knowing that it works, look no further than right here, because I have used this product in my sales profession, and I know it works because my sales only increased. It increased to a point that I never thought was possible. So think of the value you're going to get here. 1997, just the Cardone University is worth more than the 1997. And the 4 months of weekly group training going over these Grant's 10X Sales Professional courses for 1997, even if it was $29.97, gosh, it would still be one of the best deals out there. And when you could budget $5.47 per day to get the best world-class training out there, bar none. Uh, when the U.S. Army is training their recruiters on sales strategies and having their sales recruiters do daily training of Cardone University, it's worth way more than 1997. When Google and Microsoft are putting their sales associates through Cardone University, the value of it is well more. The value of this that you're getting for 1997. I mean, companies are paying huge dollars for Cardone University. 4 months, weekly group training sessions with the 10x sales professional courses, $5.47 per day. Go to thehardknockstate.com, thehardknockstate.com. Scroll to the bottom of my product page, click on the complete sales mastery, add it to the cart. We take all major credit cards. And with that, we're going to contact you within 24 hours to set up your Cardone University so you can start training right away. So I know price is not the issue here with this one. Maybe the issue is you don't think you're going to actually use it. Maybe I don't think I'm actually going to show up to the weekly training sessions. If that's the case for you, hey, drop a comment in the chat. I'd love to see if that's the case, if you don't think you're going to use this, because that would be the only other reason other than the price. And I got to tell you, the weekly group training sessions, it's designed to keep you accountable to not only go through the 10x sales course, sales professional courses, but keep you accountable to your daily training on your Cardone University. And when you could train, you could roll out of bed, open up your laptop, get on your smartphone or your tablet, and log into Cardone University. Heck, you could do this while you're exercising, or do that while you're cooking breakfast, or heck, do it while you're getting ready for work. And 10 to 15 minutes, that's all you'll ever need. Because price is never the buyer's biggest concern. Never is, never has been. Most sales are lost over objections you don't even hear. And so if you're not dropping a reason why you're not signing up for this right now in the chat, that I guess would be an objection that I'm never going to hear. Unfortunately, we need to give buyers reasons to create value in their own mind. And that's exactly what I'm doing right here. When Ashley Furniture, a national furniture company, signed up for Cardone University to make sure their sales representatives were able to sell more, sell consistently, and earn more on each sale, and their sales increase as much as it's done. And gosh, when companies like Honda, Ford, Chrysler, BMW, when they're using this to train their staff on Cardone University, it's got to be good enough for you. And there's a lot more value in it than 1997. Again, the 12-month access at Cardone University is worth well more than 1997. We got to give buyers reasons to create value in their own mind, and we need to sell people emotionally and close them with logic. When 76% of U.S. Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and the average and intermediate skilled sales associates are just barely getting by. Hey, you're selling enough to keep your job, but you may not be selling enough to keep the lights on. I went through this myself, and I've already brought this up, but actually about 10 years ago, I was looking at a paycheck while during a sales meeting. I got called out by my sales manager. I had just looked at my paycheck. My face was bright red as a fire truck, and I was really trying to hide from the group, trying to hide from my boss, but he must have noticed that and called me out. And I had to tell everybody how many vehicles I had sold for the month. Really, it was more like how many vehicles I hadn't sold for the month. And I was so embarrassed. I just wanted to be like a turtle and shrink back into my shell. I was demotivated, and my performance was shot for the rest of the weekend. I got home that night. My wife told me when I walked through the front door, greeted me and told me our water had been turned off. And, I had to we were fighting. We were just average, and we thought average was good enough. But the reality is average is a failing formula, and it's coming up in 2023. There, boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of stuff. If you're running at average levels now, and 2023 is going to hurt you way more than it stings right now, and so we need to solve that. We need to correct that immediately, because it could all turn around like that with some simple training through doing 10 to 15 minutes every day of Cardone University, and coming and joining us for 1 hour and listening to taking notes for 45 minutes on the 10x sales professional courses. Before you know it, 3 months into it, you're going to be coming out of quarter one, going into quarter two. You're going to already be on pace to sell more than you probably have ever sold in your life, and make more money than what you've ever made. And I can only speak from experience on that, and because I know it works. And for 1997, I got to tell you, really, honestly, should be about $4,000 or $5,000. Really, the training alone should be about $2,500. Yeah, we already know Cardone University for this 12-month access should really be about $2,000 or $2,500 alone. But you're getting both of them for 1997. February 1st, it's going up $1,000 in price. And so jump on this now. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't put it off any longer. Man, stop living paycheck to paycheck. 64% of U.S. Americans have zero money in savings, and 47% don't even have $400 saved for an emergency fund. And so it is, again, my mission is to help 10 million people live a successful life through a rewarding career in sales. And I'm telling you, I don't care if I do this until the day I die. It is my mission to help 10 million people live a successful life through a rewarding career in sales. Love, solve problems, and build confidence. And so I got to tell you, you got to love the one you're with, and you got to love people. You got to have an absolute love for people. You have to be a problem solver, and you have to have confidence in yourself, have confidence in your product, and have confidence in your company that you work for. And you have to know what the buyer values more than the price. Your buyer can always find somebody that will sell your product or service cheaper than what you can. And if you don't doubt me, just think about it. Think about what you sell, the line of work that you're in, and think about that one shop in town that's known for cutting their prices, that's known for dropping their prices because they know there's an active customer that's maybe in their area. But if we're providing a higher level of service, we not need to worry about that guy down the street who's discounting the same product that we're selling just to get the sale. Because when we have the opportunity to meet that customer face to face, they're going to forget all about the guy down the street, because of the level of service we're providing is so much higher than anything else they've ever experienced. We're moving along in our sales process. We're asking open-ended questions, which is allowing the customer to open up, allowing the customer to be themselves, allowing the customer to voice what problems they're having and why they're at your store, and why they're looking for a product or service that you can get to deliver that will solve that problem. So have confidence. People want more than the lowest price. They want value, and they want service. They want to be taken care of. So let's get over the lowest price objection. And how to get over that is to establish, while they're there in front of you, while they're on the phone with you, establish why they love that product, why they love the product that they drove. They got it, hey, they spent 4 or 5, California, maybe $6 a gallon for gas to get in their car to drive to your store. They, got cleaned up to leave the house. They got dressed. They took time out of their day to come see you. establish why that was, establish why they love the product, have confidence that you're going to solve their problems, and demonstrate why buying from you is uniquely different than what they're going to find anywhere else. Handle others' concerns. Uh, handling other concerns handles price. If your customer is objecting to price, budget, or terms, they may be wondering, is this the right product? Is this the right proposal? Is this truly going to solve my problems? And what will other people think about me doing this? Is this something I'm really going to use and enjoy? Will this company really take care of us and service our needs, not only while we're buying the product, but after we've purchased the product? Heck, even a year from now, when the product falls out of its manufacturer's warranty. Handling other concerns handles price. If your customer is objecting to price, budget terms, they may also be wondering, am I better off buying this product from the guy down the street? Am I better off buying it somewhere else? Will something better come out next week? If you're selling technology, you know this is a big one for you. If you are selling a product where there's a new model that comes out every year, like technology, phones, if you're selling watches, if you're selling automobiles, if there's a new model coming out every single year, you have to know that your customer's wondering if they're going to drop thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars to buy your product with something else better and more improved is going to be coming out down the road. And they're going to ask themselves, because their concerns other than prices is if they know enough, if they have enough information to make the decision on whether to move forward with that product or service. Should we get invested, or should we get our money invested in something else other than this? Is it maybe they're thinking, is this really big enough of a problem that I'm having right now to spend my hard-earned money into it right now? Well, maybe I could take this money and I could put it into a short-term investment. And maybe when I absolutely need, this problem gets bigger than what I'm having now, and there's an absolute 100% need for it, maybe I could buy that and have a little bit of extra money for my investment turned over. Is this going to be a mistake like all the other decisions I've made out there? You know what? People, this is a big one, folks, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big one. People have made we've all made so many bad financial mistakes in the past. If you ever meet a person that's never made a financial mistake, they've never taken any risks, and they've probably never bought anything, quite honestly. But we've all made purchases in the past that have been financial mistakes. So people are really not only worried about having confidence in the salesperson, heck, they're having a hard time even finding confidence in themselves. So you got to understand, they're asking themselves this question. Is this going to be a mistake like all the other mistakes I've made? And then they're also going to ask themselves, is this sales professional, is this salesperson, he seems all right now, but once he gets my money, is he going to forget about me? Is this guy going to let me down like the last time I bought a car? Is this guy going to let me down like the last time I bought a couch? Justifying price with other inventory. And so when you move the customer down in price, they can be less likely to buy from you because you're discounting the price of your product or service. You're actually devaluing the price of that product or the service in front of the customer. So it took me a long time to understand this. We think so many times we've seen buyers time and time again buy that product or service once the price gets lowered to a certain point. The reality is that that customer may be making the wrong purchase. They may be making another mistake because, hey, look, if we did not show them the value in that vehicle, the value in that stove, the value in the couch, the value in the jacuzzi or the spa, if we didn't show them all the value in that for them to know that it was the the right product altogether. It could be that we did show them all the value, and it could be that that product or service, they don't see the value in it because maybe it's lacking features or that are going to benefit them and that are truly going to solve their problems. So maybe they're settling for that one product or service that you guys are negotiating on. But instead of moving through the inventory, the sales professional decides to focus on the price. So they start discounting and devaluing the price of that product in front of the customer to a point where the customer is like, this is a no-brainer. I got to do it. Kind of like the 1997 for the complete sales mastery. Hey, it's a no-brainer. I got to do it. I'm going to go to thehardknocksdate.com right now, scroll to the bottom of the product page, add that thing to my cart. Honey, how much room do we have on the MasterCard? Okay, there's plenty. So if you can't can't close the sale, move the buyer up in inventory by offering to show them something maybe a little bit more expensive. Instead of negotiating down on your price, show them the next product up in your product line and show them the features. Tell them and explain the features and the benefits of why it's more money. They may then all of a sudden understand that their option is only to spend more money to get additional features that they may not even want, and then they'll go right back down and they'll buy the product or the service that they selected. Believe that the buyer would rather pay more and make the right decision versus paying less and making a mistake. And that goes right back to what we were just talking about. We've all made bad financial mistakes out there. So believe and have a firm understanding and a firm grasp. It just 100% believe that the buyer would rather pay more to get exactly the product or service that's going to solve their problems versus paying less and making a mistake. Closing with inventory definition: when a salesperson uses inventory to close a deal instead of gross margins. Salespeople don't stop sales. Salespeople stop sales. Customers don't. Customers don't stop the sales. It's the salesperson. Remember, the customer's done 40 hours of research on that one product or service, and they researched your store, your showroom, or your office. They decided to get dressed in the morning, get cleaned up, and spend $4 to $6 per gallon of gas to drive into your store. And it should be as simple as us. Just go ahead and deposit your money right here into these two hands, and I will deliver this product or service to you. Salespeople tend to place blame on a number of factors when they can't close the sale. It's the blame phenomenon. They want to point the fingers at everything. You know, it's the manufacturer, it's the product, it's the management, it's the customer. Oh, that guy's a stroke. That guy's a jack. That guy ain't buying nothing, right? Salespeople will point the finger and place blame when they can't close the sale. So we need to ask ourselves, what did I do wrong? Instead of pointing the finger and placing blame, what did I do wrong? What did I miss? What step of the sale did I not go over? How did I shortcut my sales process? How did I shortcut? What value did I not provide to the customer? What questions did I ask? Did I ask close-ended questions that stop the customer from being able to open up and elaborate on what was important to them? Take responsibility for everything. Any problem, you take responsibility for it, not the customer. You know, and you need to solve that problem, whatever it is. You need to figure out why they didn't buy. You need to solve it, and you need to solve the problem for the customer. Never blame a customer for not making a decision, because remember, if they leave your showroom, if a customer leaves your showroom, if the customer leaves your store or your office empty-handed, they did make a decision. But the decision they made was not to buy. And the decision they made is to go home and think about it. The decision they made is to go home and to do more research. Unfortunately, if the salesperson would have known their complete product line, known everything about that product, that service, if they had done a phenomenal greeting right off the bat, if they had asked open-ended questions and then did a dynamic demonstration on that product or service, and they were able to overcome objections, actually overcome complaints, and get that customer sit down to see written proposal, and they were able to overcome objections to get them to close on that. If anything fell short of that, you can't blame the customer. You got to blame yourself, because if you didn't use third-party data and ask open-ended questions, and they didn't buy, that's on you. It's the blame management. The blame management definition, Grant's blame management definition is when the salespeople place blame on factors other than themselves when they are unable to solve the product. And so don't do that. Get signed up with Cardone University and get signed in and get connected with us in our weekly group training sessions. Learn these 10x sales professional courses like the back of your hand, and learn all the 800 courses throughout a year on Grant's Cardone University. I guarantee you, for $19.97, if you're working on a daily budget and you're still drinking, venti lattes, if you're still drinking coffee that costs more than $5.50 with a tip, maybe put that on pause for a year. Maybe if that is your only indulgence, but you really want 2023 to be a bang up year, $5.47. You can have the best year ever. You can come in to the second quarter of 2023 and you could be on fire. You could be already off to the races and you could be killing it out there. You really can. There's enough money circling this planet right now for every human being to have $1 million net worth. There's 8 billion of us, and there's enough money circling the planet right now for every single one of us to be worth a millionaire, to be worth $1 million and to be a millionaire. So how are you going to get it? How are you going to get the money? When the customer walks into your store, believe it or not, advertising to get customers to walk into your store, to get the advertising to get the phone ringing, advertising to get leads driven into your internet department. Advertising for all of that is highly, highly expensive. And I believe the statistic 15 years ago was it cost $75 to get a customer to come into the store. So what is that today? If that was the statistic 15 years ago, what is it today? And so what if it's $100, $125, maybe as much as $150 that your company has spent in advertising to get the customer into your showroom and they leave empty-handed? That's an advertising budget that's just being wasted. And so we need to understand that. And so let's become a professional. Let's learn how to master this game called sales. Let's learn how to master this industry so our boss won't have to see us saying goodbye to the customer as they're driving out of the store without our product or service. Because I tell you what, that gets tiring. It gets tiring for the sales managers. It gets tiring for the business owner. It gets tiring for the person writing all the paychecks and writing all the checks for advertising. It gets tiring to having them have to see customers come in and then leave, come in and then leave, come in and then leave, and still at the end of the day have a showroom left a product. 1997, you will never be the reason why somebody's pointing the finger at you, saying only if you sold more product, Sally, only if you sold more product, Rebecca, John, only if you sold a couple units more a month, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Okay, let's eliminate that. Let's make the decision to get great ourselves. For $5.47 per day, it's $19.97 right now through January 31st. Sign up, get 12 months access to Cardone University so you could do daily training and you could become a ninja on things like overcoming objections, cold calling, prospecting, getting attention in the market. You'll become a master after you go through 9 10x sales professional courses of Grant Cardone's, and you'll get to go through one each week. We'll go through 45 minutes of that, and then we'll leave enough time so you can voice your opinions, get anything off your chest, ask questions about the training, ask questions about any situations you're currently going through at your current workplace, and how we can get you to sell more, sell consistently, and earn more the very next day. Uh, there's no shortage of money. If you're going to make big money, you need to get your head right about making big money. One of the first things you could do about getting your head right is investing in yourself. You will never lose money if you invest in yourself. If you invest in your future, you can't lose. Start looking for prosperity, abundance, and wealth. You'll see that it exists everywhere. Grant says, walk out your front door and just take a look around. You'll see money everywhere. You'll see money in areas you never even looked before. Money is constantly in circulation, and all you have to do is collect it. But you have to know how to collect it. And so the Complete Sales Mastery can help you do that. You collect money by producing, you collect money by closing sales, and by selling more. Money is plentiful, it's abundant, and there's no scarcity of it. When we make the sale, we need to understand another opportunity that we're missing many of the times, like asking open-ended questions. When say if we're selling automobiles and we're asking open-ended questions during the fact finding about what vehicle is going to fit our customers' needs, do we ask them also what they're going to be using it for? Maybe the customer is going off-road and they're buying a truck or a four-wheel drive SUV from you. And maybe you know that they want to start taking their family and their kids off-roading on the weekends. Okay. When you go and you make that sale, right as you're about ready to close that sale, it'd probably be a wise idea to bring up the second sale. And the second sale could be something like, hey, look, Frank, I know you said it's important to you and your family to get out in the outdoors and that you wanted to do off-roading on the weekends. I know some of those places and the places you really want to get to and the lakes you really want to take your family up to see in the mountains, they're going to require maybe a little bit higher ground clearance than what the Silverado might provide. Well, how about we put a 2.5-inch lift on it and put 33-inch tires on this thing? You'll be able to get anywhere you need to go without hassle. And so right then and there, we've asked for the second sale. And the second sale, the second money, it's a lot easier to get than the first sale. And so once it's the easiest money you'll ever make in your lifetime. So think about this, okay? Think about this. You're in the people business. You're not in the X brand business, okay? You're not in the car business. You're not in the furniture business. You're not in the real estate business, and you're not in the insurance business. You're in the people business. The real estate, the insurance, the couch, the bedroom set, the automobile, okay, the jacuzzi, the spa, okay, the stove, the kitchen appliances, that's the problem that people are trying to solve. So think about that. You're in the people business no matter what your job is. Selling is 80% people and 20% product. People buy for reasons other than the benefits of the product. Find out what's important to your customer and ask questions. And how you're going to do that, again, is what the topic of this live stream is. It's asking open-ended questions. You want to learn to find out what's important to your consumer, and you